What is happening, people, and welcome to today's video. I want to go over another kind of session of good news and bad news, because I want to talk to you guys about my shoulder injury, how it's going, whether I'm getting surgery, all of that sort of nonsense. So for those of you who have never heard about what's going on, about a year ago I was helping my aunt on a construction job and hurt my shoulder pretty bad, and for a year I've been in a lot of pain, whether I tried to brush my hair, eat food, do virtually anything with this arm. It has been extremely painful. Then about a month ago I was doing sandbag extensions and I felt something give way, and that ended up being a proximal tear of my bicep. And if you did not know, they typically do not do surgery for proximal tears because it doesn't really affect how the muscle functions, or if you're in pain all the time and things like that. If it was a distal tear, like you guys hear about people tearing their bicep and they immediately need to get surgery and they're in a cast for the next couple months, that is not the case that I was in. What actually happened is when that sandbag detached that bicep, all of my pain, or at least like 90% of my pain, went away. So that was really, really good news, and I was able to start training again. I was feeling really, really good. However, they wanted to do an MRI just to make sure that the rotator cuff was in good shape. Now, if you guys remember, I've torn my left rotator cuff, and it was a bunch of complications with a bone marrow infection and other things like that. So I was pretty afraid of that, but my shoulder's been feeling so good, I was like, there's absolutely no way that I have a rotator cuff tear. And then the MRI results came back, and they said that I 100% do have a tear in my right rotator cuff, even though there is no pain. So I had one doctor tell me that he immediately wanted to do surgery and that my shoulder was completely screwed and they need to do surgery right now. And if I didn't, then I was going to need to get an upside down shoulder replacement, at which time I'll never be able to lift 5 to 10 pounds over my head again. And again, this is just stuff that I'm being told. So if it doesn't make sense to some of you out there who have been through this, or some of you doctors, I'm just telling you what I know. Now, I got a second opinion, and he told me that because I was not symptomatic. Now, this doctor was the same doctor who did this shoulder, and I trust this guy. He does nothing but shoulders, and he does them very, very well. And I asked him what he would do in this situation, and he said, since I'm not symptomatic, I'm not in pain, I can lift, I can do everything that I can normally do, then he is very, very reluctant to go and do surgery at this time because I have so much arthritis in that shoulder, and there is some other damage in there from me just 43 years being an idiot with my right arm. Basically is all caught up, and his biggest thing is to not cut me because there is no guarantee that after he resets that rotator cuff that I'm not going to be in pain or lose some function. There's also no guarantee that because of how bad the arthritis is in this shoulder, that if he resets it, that I'm not going to be in constant pain and lose function for the rest of my life. So he said right now he thinks the best choice is to not go with surgery so that I don't open myself up to infection and all those other nonsensical things that comes with surgery, and to try to just build it up as best I possibly can. There's not really much that I can do because once rotator cuff is torn, it's torn. There's not much that I'm going to be able to do, but since I'm not in pain, I'm able to pass all of the functional rotator cuff tests with kind of flying colors. He would recommend not getting surgery at this time. So that is currently where I stand. The idea is that I will use this thing until it breaks, and hopefully by that time, either they'll be able to reattach that tendon still, because there is a timeline, right? Because as that tendon tore, we don't know if it tore at the same time the bicep. Really, neither doctor nor myself nor my physical therapist believe that the rotator cuff tore at the same time that the bicep did. We all kind of believe that the rotator cuff's probably been torn for a while, and as it sits and waits, it atrophies, right? So it pulls further and further away, so the reattachment gets worse and worse to the point that it could get where they can't do a reattachment. It just, you're stuck with whatever you have, and then you're left with a shoulder replacement or an upside down shoulder replacement, which again is no more than 5 or 10 pounds above my head. And my doctor told me, both doctors told me, that is the direction that I'm probably headed in the next X amount of years, depending on how much more use I can get out of the shoulder. However, I want to, there's no guarantees that getting the rotator cuff repaired now is going to make that inevitable shoulder replacement any further away. So time is going to tell, and we really don't know what the future holds. So right now, while I'm not in pain, I'm able to train, I'm able to move reasonable weights, I don't see a reason for surgery at this time. It might mean that I'm not competing. I honestly don't know at this time what I am and am not going to be able to get away with without a rotator cuff doing strongman. But if I can compete, then I will compete. If I can't compete, then I guess that has kind of passed its way, because having a working shoulder for the rest of my life is more important than competing in a parking lot, stuff like that. So anyway, that is where we sit right now as far as that goes. I am open-minded to getting surgery. I am open-minded to doing whatever the best possible avenue is to get the most use and longevity out of the shoulder that I possibly can. However, I do know that opening it up to infection with surgery and all the complications that come with surgery, there's no guarantee that it's going to make it any better than it is right now, and it could end up in the same exact shoulder replacement 2 years, 12 years, whatever years from now. Anyway, so currently, I am not planning on getting the surgery. I know some of you are going to be like, you're an idiot, you should definitely get surgery. However, man, going from a year of constant pain to suddenly bicep rupturing, no more pain, to go right back into getting the surgery, and trust me, a shoulder surgery is no fun thing to go through. The recovery is not short, it's not easy, it's not non-painful, and it's not much fun. So the idea of throwing myself right back into pain for the next year of my life until my shoulder gets better doesn't sound particularly spectacular. So as of right now, I'm just gonna keep driving on unless something breaks, at which time I'm gonna go try to get it fixed. But if nothing is broken, then I don't see a reason to fix it. So anyway, I hope that fills you guys in. I do thank you guys so much for absolutely everything. I just felt there are a lot of people asking me about this, so I wanted to kind of just give you guys an idea of where we stood and what the doctor said, and the MRI came out to say that my rotator cuff is torn. Complete shocker to me. Anyway, I do thank you guys so much. I will catch you later in the week. Till I do go out something amazing, realize, keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. Don't you like this wall? It's a beautiful wall. Used to be firewood. Now it's not.